One, two, 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 two.
We are recording.
Saba.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sibilance.
Sounds like Spanish to
Testing.
me.
I think we're testing now. Oh, I guess he's there. I guess he's there now.
Yeah. Is that where you want to start? Cause you want to start right with like Dave Meltzer. Oh, not the pop. Oh, the pop I was expecting.
Well, I guess he's
Shut
got a decent pop.
Shut up.
I mean, that was it. Probably about 20 decibels. So that's about it. I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, the thread was wild this week, right? Just talking about everything that happened this week, and one of the things was during the awesome WWE announcements that didn't really solve all but one match, maybe. That apparently Cody did choose Roman at this time, and according to Dave Meltzer, it didn't get the pop that he thought it would. I was like, come on, man. Why you gotta be like this?
Pop.
You think what? Oh, he's muted, sorry.
He's like, I got a pop.
I mean, there's not a lot of things we all watched together, and I thought it was funny because I wasn't really going to watch it, and then we were all watching it at the same time, which was actually kind of cool. And then the WrestleMania press conference turned out to be one of the coolest things they turned out.
Awesome.
And then we were all like really into it. And then we were not the only ones. We were not wrong because the rest of the zeitgeist in the internet wrestling community absolutely loved last night's WrestleMania press conference live stream. And what's really cool is nobody knows where anything is going at all from last night, but it opened up the possibility of everything and anything. And it was
nobody
really cool.
knows shit.
It's going exactly the way it should.
Yeah.
Going exactly the way Triple H wants it to
exactly
go.
the way it should.
Yeah. And for all of you, it's funny because I think we call ourselves like self-inflicted marks, but for all the marks out there, you're getting marked so hard this week once again, because when Cody came out and said this is bullshit and then picked Roman, and then you saw Triple H come out and look all disturbed and everything, I'm like, you're all being worked. And then right at the end of the line where Triple H says, well, when people go into business for themselves, I'm like, he's only saying that because he wants you all to get marked up. He's using all of you. I just want you to know that if anybody listens out there, it's okay. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to be great. It'll all work out. And they got your best intentions in mind. I guarantee it. But they are seriously trying to get the marks out and flesh all this craziness and all this social media fandom. It's working. It's got us talking. It had us talking more than we ever had in a week period, and it's incredible. I mean, but don't have a heart attack. It's gonna be so good. Just saying.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, I get why at first, I mean, I got worked in the beginning because I was thinking like, man, this reminds me of like what Vince would do, like just put Rock in there because they want to make them. Which obviously you're gonna do that. You're a big company, but then like even after the first day, I think we all were start talking about like all the different scenarios that actually could be going on with it, and this is the way it should be. Like Rock should be a heel now, and I like that he's using like I'm on the board, as it's going to be like his power stroke, basically, like how he told Triple H, if you don't fix it, we will, or we will. And like I love how they're doing that. He's going to be like in the show Ballers. It's going to be big old baller boss now. That's what it's going to be. That's going to be badass.
Yeah, I think you were seeing it. I mean, I think we all kind of felt it, but you really felt it during the McAfee show, which was just hours before, right?
Yep.
When it was a bunch of Cody. What do you call them?
Cody Crybabies.
Cody Crybabies. And I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely. And he did pay homage to Cody for like half a second. There's a difference between Cody Criers, Cody fans, and
Cody Rhodes. Yes.
And I was like, I think he's kind of like he's teetering a little bit, but at the same time, Cody can take offense, which he did, and then it turned. It was beautifully done. Beautifully done.
It's perfect
because The Rock has to defend the homage of the family.
I didn't want because I didn't want it to be the same old, hey, Rock's going to fight Roman at WrestleMania, and it's just going to be Rock. This side of the fans are going to call you this, and this side of the like the same old stuff. I'm glad he's changing it up now with this heel character, and it's going to be a different from, his old. I mean, it seems like it's going to be different from his.
That's exactly right. Like it wasn't like eyebrow raised, like snarmy, like sarcastic Rock. It's actually like really pissed off Rock, and I mean power trip Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is interesting.
Let me show you the tree, which I said on the thread. I'm like, if there was a T-shirt for that, I would buy that.
By the way, did you see there was a close up? Actually, Rock is a high chief.
Yep.
When actually was blessed one in like 2014 or something. So he actually has a higher rank than Roman Reigns as tribal chief. So if that's played in the
See?
storyline,
all the layers.
he's all the layers. To
all
the
the
bloodline.
layers now, because that's gonna be interesting to see where like if it's almost like if Roman's still gonna be champ after everything, but he's gonna like kind of take a backseat, almost be like Rock's puppy dog following around. So it's gonna be
He
like
is. That's exactly how they're positioning it. He's
I
like
love
right
it.
behind him. Like
Yeah,
it's
I love
very
it, dude.
strange.
I love it. I love all of it. And then I don't know. I guess maybe Rock and Roman next year. Maybe that's what this is gonna be, where it's gonna be a long bloodline feud, and then Rock and Roman next year. But I mean, I don't know what
So
else.
the
Awesome.
biggest question to me is Jess and I got into like a big old text fight this week about
Well, I guess they got in a fight.
like
got
trust
on
the
a text call.
process and stuff. But the question is that
Dave
that
Seltzer
I
said.
would love to ask the group is, so it's all turned out fine, but was it trust the process, or did they pivot to this and then are coming up with something better than they originally had? That's the biggest thing in my mind. Like, was this all planned out, or is they pivoting to
I don't
this
know
and
how
it's
they
gonna
could
be
have
great? Like,
known
I feel
Well,
like
that
it's been
that video would get the most dislikes. I don't think it's possible that they could have planned that. I do give him credit for they could have
Correct.
pivoted from that,
Correct.
or Triple H just could have said, just go out and do it, and then we'll just follow like their lead. If people get pissed, then we have a megastar in our hands in Cody. If people don't give a shit about Cody, we'll address that later. Like,
I've
Well,
always
I
thought.
kind of thought about that. I thought this recharged Cody because Cody's
Well,
been doing this for 2
I also
years, and
think too
could've
that it
died out. I
recharged
think
it
snatching
recharged the
from him even
bloodline, because I
briefly
was saying it was boring.
recharges
It
the whole
was
thing.
boring. And now, like, The Rock coming back, you
did.
don't know how he plays in. You don't know what this character. I'm going to be honest right now. I
Such
will
a good
shut
point.
WrestleMania off if
Really
he does
good
not come
point.
out to his helicopter theme. Thank you very much. I need it. Everybody needs it. It'll
No,
be
it's
like
gotta
a different
be- it's
version,
gotta
like
be
a
updated.
Bloodline version.
Got to even get an update.
It's all Bloodline. His Hollywood Rock helicopter
which
theme,
which
when he was
helicopter
heel,
theme?
is the best. It's the best Rock entrance of all time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was really.
It's going to be more bigger and
It was,
extravagant.
I remember it
watch.
was really good. Yeah, I remember that.
This is how it should have went, though.
But there had to be some pivoting, Craig, to your point, because I think you have to protect Seth at this point. So that's why the tag match that Brian Alvarez brought up was a really good point, because if Seth is really hurt, which it seems to be the knee, you can protect it in the tag match, and you can protect the Rock, who
Rock.
can't go 30 minutes. I mean, there's no way. But also, CM Punk getting injured, they
Yeah.
had to pivot in some set of what WrestleMania was really going to be. And I think Punk and
It
Seth
could have been a
getting
combination
hurt
of
was
everything.
probably
The
match
Rock
that
could
was
have just
supposed
said,
to
like,
happen,
you
and
know
now they're
what?
just going
After
for
like
Seth and
Punk
is
went
out.
down, and The Rock could have just said, like, why don't I just side with Roman? Or this could have been a whole thing. Like, maybe because everybody thought like The Rock would come back to
be
face
fair,
Roman.
Rock
Maybe
did
the whole
tease it.
time The Rock's like, I'm gonna be his partner. We're blood. Like,
Well, a bunch of things. Last year, Rock said he didn't want to do it because, for one, he had been planning something special for it when he was going to do it. Two, he actually did already kind of tease it towards the end of last year. So before Punk even got hurt, he said something like, "Oh, I don't know, I might, I'm looking at, what the possibilities are for WrestleMania 40 in Philly." He's all, if it makes sense and we can do the special thing that we want to do, then yeah. He's like, I'll do it. So I think Triple H is smarter, because I've always felt like, ever since like the Punk, when Punk left, and how people were behind him, always chanting his name after he left, because however you want to look at it, they screwed him or whatever. And then also because of the Daniel Bryan Yes movement, I was thinking, like, there's no way. I know not with Vince in charge, but there's no way Triple H isn't like, okay, all we have to do to make a really, really big babyface is do exactly what we did with those two guys, except it's planned.
Make it look like you take it off.
and
Triple H-
like,
You made an
I
excellent
don't know
roadmap.
how
right,
they're
Cuz?
doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
it was an
that's what
excellent roadmap
he
that you
said the word
created.
bullshit, Cody. But I mean, like, other than that, he was completely like clean. And it's like everybody else had potty mouths for the most part, but then he was just like,
Yeah.
and if your grandfather was here, he'd be ashamed of you. And it's such a generic line, but everyone's all, oh, and then
Yeah.
the way Roman and The Rock sold, and
gotta
that
be the role
pissed The
model.
Rock off, and I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like, God, like, absolutely perfect.
Well, it was kind of funny though how Roman can totally talk shit on his dad. On
You know,
Cody's
I
dad,
felt
but you can't
terrible
talk smack
for
on the bloodline, like at the same
Seth
time.
Rollins.
Yeah.
Even when he was off camera, he was like, you go with that dork and green over
Seth.
there. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Like, they're just shitting all over Seth. Like, he's standing right there. Seth's all, hi.
Yeah.
Are you still
Talking
here?
shit. Yep.
Hi.
Hey. And so there was a meme this morning of like Seth when
survive it.
he was in the ring when DX reunited, and Seth's just kind of by himself, like like he's totally to the
It
side.
makes sense why he was out there because people were like, "Why was he even? Why it doesn't make
It makes
sense."
total sense.
Well, because Cody.
And
had
I like Seth
he's the
fighting
fucking
from the
Cody
under.
fighter.
You know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you never know. Maybe they're waiting for his big moment,
I
like
do
his
too.
big promo, like before Mania, of like, I've done everything you guys have asked for. Like, and I've never I've earned everything. I didn't walk in, use my Hollywood fame. I didn't sign a contract that said I could wrestle 10 times a year. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I just been here. I do everything you guys asked me to do. Like, yeah.
Every week I do it. You know, but you can argue too. I mean, Seth has had one of the greatest, about the greatest WrestleMania moments ever with the briefcase.
Yeah,
And,
it still
you
is.
chunked out Roman's moment then. So it's, you know, you
And
like
you know,
Roman's got a little bit of a chip on
the
his
build
shoulder
up
to
coming
be able
close
say
to
this
it, they
piece
could
of
even
crap
start
over here.
alluding back to
So-
the Shield a little bit, because I mean everyone remembers. But do it more. Like, since they're flushing out all these raw emotions, just keep going, man. Like,
Yeah. I mean, my brain is it's fried because it was just like it would blow my mind if it was always the plan, and I was just they knew
like
all
it was.
along.
There's-
But
They had to
but I-
pivot somewhat, Craig.
But
yeah.
they had to, because Cody is the one that in the storyline actually said on SmackDown, I called Rock, which makes no sense for him to then turn on Rock like that and take it back 7 days later. So there's no way. Maybe it was eventually maybe this was eventually the angle after Mania and down the road after the year, and they have to speed it up to where they have to now include Cody. But like,
and I
there's
think
something
maybe
that
you never know.
it's
One
almost
promo
too
from
perfect
Cody
in its
next week is
execution
going
and
to
what they
fix
did
it
and what
all.
they
He could
pivoted
just
to.
be like, I trusted you, and then I heard actually that you were actually here to be
That's
like, you know,
Exactly,
just
that's
you
what
and
I was gonna
Roman
say.
hog the spotlight, and that didn't sit well with me. You know, like
long
so.
term. So that's why I said, like, if I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but if Cody is to lose again, this is the way you do it. You get all the sympathy behind him. You get The Rock playing the power trip, all the family against Cody. That's how you do it.
And I'm not convinced that
they're
that's the
doing
main
that.
event of night one. I'm not
I love
convinced
it.
that
They're really
the tag match isn't going to be the main event of Elimination Chamber.
what Cody and
The Rock and Roman against yeah. I'm not convinced that
I think
Yeah.
I might put that in
that's
elimination.
it would work for
could
night
be.
one, the tag match, and yeah. Some
I don't even know
people
if
were
that's even
talking
going to
about
happen. Like, I don't even know. I
so-
don't think that's unless Seth really. Well, no, because they're already doing the world heavyweight
just
title.
to
oh, that's the Elimination
just to-
Chamber, yeah.
just to clarify what Jeff's talking about, Craig. It's
Yep.
it'd be Seth.
Yeah.
Be Seth Cody versus Rock and Roman. That's the tag match.
But you're right. You're right.
Correct.
If
Thank you.
you know
That-
if
but I
Seth's
think-
injury is as bad as they
Meltzer
said
or
it is,
someone
he's
say,
going to
like-
need till WrestleMania to recover. So maybe Elimination Chamber is too soon.
Yeah, and they're
What
having the
happens-
number
It's gonna
one
be for
contendership
Seth, yeah.
for the Elimination Chamber match is going to be the number one contender for Seth's.
He just
What
said
happened
like
on SmackDown tonight? What was Triple H's announcement? Announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Motorhead came.
And then Dave Meltzer got on and he's like, actually, The
Yeah.
Rock is higher than you, like in real life too. Like he's on the board and you're not, so he's in charge. Yeah.
well, Triple H is in charge of creative, but yeah, I don't, because there's still that whole like Endeavor or had already said like Triple H is in charge of creative. We're not fucking with that. So I think they wanted like that because when Vince was on the board too, I think they probably were like, no, you're on the board. You have nothing to do with creative.
Yes, I do.
Board members have nothing to do with creative.
Well, remember they let Vince try out on
I
off
do.
for that one night, and they saw what he was doing. He was ripping up
Yep.
scripts at the last. And they're like, yeah, we're not doing this.
The
Like,
only time since he
that's
stepped
done.
down that he was actually.
What if
amazing.
Vince wrote last night?
He wrote everything.
What if what?
What if Vince wrote the press
Well,
conference?
yeah, it's all a
so it didn't-
storyline. The lawsuits, everything. It's a storyline.
I just don't think. I mean, Justin said it best. He's got the best mind for business, but when
done.
it comes to creative and storytelling, he's lost that ability. It's
Look at
passed
the
him by.
presentation.
It's not
like
the same.
lately, the presentation it is more. It they still have the stupid little skits here and there, but it feels
Yes.
more sport.
The stats on the
Just
CG,
everything.
the
They
stats
call
is
it
very
pro
much.
wrestling now. They're not calling it sports
And
entertainment.
you've been calling that for a while, cuz
Everything.
we
I've
really
been
have,
wanting
and
that,
I
but-
kind of didn't believe you.
Well, I mean,
You're
I
genius,
wanted it.
cuz
I wanted.
yeah, you're.
Genius,
I'm
genius.
sorry,
out in
you're
the
a
universe,
genius.
and then it came into fruition.
Yeah,
All right then.
You manifest what you want in your mind.
I like that.
$1 million winning lotto
Just wait to
tickets?
see what happens at WrestleMania. Like, just kidding.
Oh,
I've already thought it through.
because it's the main event.
I might be God. I don't know.
That'd be so
Versus
funny.
Roman.
Because
I
versus
fucking
Roman.
did it.
Craig, I am.
There's a podcaster out there.
Rock takes the mask off and it's me. Like,
This podcast
With a
is
koozie.
and shit.
I get that,
This
if he
press
came back
conference.
and
No,
he
I
was
guess
the
I'm in
same
the main
old Fire
event now.
Rock, I could understand
Cuz-
like how people be bothered by it. But I just need people to take a minute.
yeah.
He reminded you how goddamn great he was, The Rock, because Rock is fantastic. Like he's flawless. Like the guy is fucking
Yes.
When
That
everything he did
Yes,
was. I was
the
like, oh
snapping into
man.
heel mode was so good, Jess. It was so different, especially the altercation. The altercation with Triple H at the end
Yeah.
was so like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
By the way, Craig, did you ever find out what he said at the end?
I think he said something like, "Fixer, I'll smash his fucking teeth in." He either said that or "Be glad you're retired."
Yeah,
see,
because I
keep
thought Triple
seeing-
H said, "Yeah, glad you are too," or
There's
something like
different.
that.
I keep seeing
Yeah.
different. Some people said Rock said, do something about it. I'll smack his fucking teeth out. And then he said, "You're lucky you're retired." And then Triple H said, "I am too." Or and other people said that Roman actually said, "You're lucky you're retired." And then Triple H told him, "You're lucky I am too."
Oh,
So yeah, I know. So
Ah,
it
that's
was so
what it
like
was.
yeah, but either way, it fucking worked out. Whatever. It fucking made it seem real.
Roman had to get a little beef in since he had to follow
Yeah.
The Rock around for
Who
once.
cares?
Well, that's the thing is like
Completely
Roman's now second fiddle to his own storyline, so the whole storyline's going to become about him actually having to defer to fucking.
Could also be
High Chief or fucking
well, not right
Rock,
now,
there's so
but
much
like
to play with.
afterwards, maybe he loses everything. It's the beginning of his face turn, like him coming back. Because like after a successful heel run, you got to be face now.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
love Roman.
Yeah.
And I think did Cuz said or someone said Trinity and Jacob Fatu were also on the.
Yep. Trinity
The
Fatu.
tree.
It said
On the
Trinity
Bloodline
Fatu
tree.
And Jacob Fatu. And then obviously it had to have shown Umaga's son on there. Whoever else. God, I can't think of it. I know there's a couple other younger family members that are out there.
It's pretty goddamn powerful though, that image of like
Did they
people that are born to be
erase
fucking
Jay
wrestlers.
out of
That
the
is
tree? I was
amazing.
just curious.
I
Was
feel
Jay
like-
in there? To...
Jay and Jimmy were on the tree.
I feel like what should
I
happen
thought they might have taken a marker to Jay and took like scratched him
Yeet.
out.
is
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like
what
what should
yeet
happen
over
if,
it.
if
Yeeted
Cody's
about.
still going to be involved, like if they're going to still be involved with each other somehow after WrestleMania, regardless if it's Cody winning or Roman still holding on to the title, I think it would be cool to make it even deeper of a storyline and to just like fucking make it even more interesting. Is you have Cody try to get anyone that's also wrestling royalty, him, Randy Orton. You get a couple, Braun Breaker. You get him. You get other. There's
Well,
one of the
he's
Beverly.
signed, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they made a big spectacle of it. He's signed to SmackDown.
Yep. He actually
go?
asked Triple H. He said, can you give me advice? And then Paul Heyman walked in and shook his
Well-
hand. Yeah.
Well, you should not be on SmackDown.
So here's my question. If we wouldn't have responded the way we did last week, the internet wrestling community, for better or for worse, and there are a lot of scumbags and stupidity with the
There is.
IWC, what would we have seen on Thursday night? If we had not made a stink, would we?
I think we had to
seen
have.
something else?
I
or
think
would
we would have seen the same thing. I think
thing?
that Triple H
Oh, I think
knows we have to
think
make
so.
a new star. So Cody
He knows
has
more.
to be the guy that we put the polish on. They can't keep relying on The Rock. They can't because I don't think it's Triple H's style. Even though he was harking back 50,000 times, like but that was Vince's
No.
style. Just bring back DX, bring back whatever. But I think Triple H is more like we can't it can't be about The Rock. It can't. Like that means our product's not working if it is. And same thing with
Right.
Roman. Like Roman's a heel. Like so, I think that he felt it's got to be about Cody. It has to be like.
Yep.
But they see,
the biggest
I don't
babyface.
think they knew that last week when they had it on Friday Night SmackDown with Cody handing off to Rock.
I think so. That's
You
just
do?
me. That's just my belief. I think
'Cause
so because you have to make Cody. It can't just be like, oh, Cody won, and then now he's fighting the same old heels over and over. You have to do something that's going to have really huge heat on the heels and gaining more sympathy for Cody. Like I said, that's how it should have been. I feel like this is the way you elevate him to that next level as the biggest babyface. And then, like just said, Roman Reigns
But
turned
to Jess's
face.
point, they wouldn't have known that they were going to react that badly. Like if they would have just cheered, it would have been amazing, and like they would have been.
Don't
fine
they have the
with
network? Can't
The
they go
Rock.
back and watch all the times they've done that where they?
I mean, they were passing out. I mean, I know you saw the dislikes, but I don't think they took just the dislikes into
I just feel
into
like
Raw and literally passing out.
I never panicked when we had our little back and forth on the text because
I mean they were
of what they've done.
steering people that way.
And I think to Cuz's point, that's why I knew that Cody was fine. Because all the other times we're going to reference Daniel Bryan, them trying to push Lex even way back in the day, but Brett was the guy that the locker room liked and the fans liked and they just wanted to see. You can go back to any of those times. They weren't put in a position. Like Daniel Bryan lost to Bray Wyatt and never was in the Royal Rumble. And that's why people booed Ray and got pissed the fuck off because whatever. Cody won the Rumble back to back. It's all been set up. They've never swayed from Cody. They've always protected him. Even with this victory, it protected him. I was of the thing when Craig and I got in the little Twitter thing or the text thing, I was like, no, like I don't want him if they're going to march him to beat Hogan's record, which Craig made a good point. Craig was like, why do you think that they are? I'm like, they have not beaten it over our heads yet because they have other business to try and take care of. But it's always been in the background that Hogan is Vince's guy. Hogan's the modern era of WWF. Like Bruno and Bob Backlund's record, whatever. Like that was WWF. Like Hogan is the modern wrestling like record you should chase. I feel that that's what they're pushing him. If that's where they're going, which started. In my mind, to Craig's point, he's right. I don't know. It just has always been in my brain. That's where they're going. I think Cuz and I had a conversation a couple months ago. And Cuz is like, if they're going to break the record, like we shouldn't expect anything like groundbreaking in the sense of like, like all the way until then. And by the way, he won't break the record till after SummerSlam. So that's when I started thinking like, okay, like if that is true and they're never going to take the title, get Cody away from him. If Cody loses again, he's dead. Like, there's no way Cody's going to come back from that. You're telling me that 2 years in a row, like, he can't beat Roman? What, is he going to win the Rumble a third year? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm like, dude, you got to either put the secondary title on him or keep him away from Roman. And that's why I was like, well, maybe if he beats Seth, people will be a little bit let down, but they didn't kill him. And then they quarantined The Rock and Roman together, and they did their thing to get it out of their system. This is before, like, I knew The Rock was even going to turn heel, before Pat McAfee, anything. And I was just like, good, keep Cody away. Because if you line them up, he's beating Cody. Like, there's no way around it. And I don't want to see that. I don't want Cody to die. So in my mind, I don't know why I just got married to they're chasing the Hogan record. So I was like, Cody is fine. The fact that he won the Rumble, they protected him. And then when Seth came out and said, you should go for my title, it's the common man's title, it's the working man, I was like, good, get him away. Like, because I thought it was going to go the road that Cuz didn't want it to go, which was the same old babyface Rock came back. And you know what I mean? You just want to see me here, so I'm here, and I'm going to be in the main event. I thought they were going to do that. And stupid me, I'm glad I was wrong. But yeah, so that's why I was like, good, keep Cody away from him. So I never felt fear for Cody. And then when they started, Cody had that look on his face. Remember when he handed it off The Rock when he's like, I'm not going to chase you at WrestleMania? They kept showing that.
Yep.
And it wasn't that the video they edited and took down. They took down his emotion, and they did it on purpose. Like now I look back, I'm all, they fucking
his sad face.
Did it on purpose because they knew. Like to Dave's point, Triple H is like, I'm going to work the lowliest mark. I'm going to edit shit out of a video clip, and everyone will notice because the obsessed fans, they notice every fucking video that's edited. So like when they took Cody's reaction out, I was like, oh my god, like they're totally knowing this is going to happen. Like. I didn't know yesterday was going to blow my socks off. I was not ready for that. But I mean, like,
Right. We did not know.
That's why I said when The Rock said everyone's going to remember it forever, I'm like, you better fucking live up to that hype. And it fucking lived up to that hype for sure.
But I am not convinced that this was the original plan. There's a difference between trust the process. Jess, you ended up correct with actually just kind of trust the. But my point is, if the community didn't. Absolutely go nuts last week.
They're in buildings every night. I think they had to have been.
Like, in my head,
I saw Cody live in a house show, and he's different. Like
they pivoted. Right?
I'm not saying he gets like Hogan pops because I don't think those aren't the thing anymore. Really, like I mean, LA Knight gets a big pop, But like Cody had a swell. I remember when Nakamura came down. This is a house show, and when Nakamura's music stopped, they purposely lulled it before Cody's music hit, and everybody started chanting Cody and stood up. No reason. And I was like, he's a star. Like they don't have to be super over passionate about him like they were for The Rock or Austin or Hogan. And they are, by the way, because he is the number one merchandise seller for all of 2023. The entire year. Bigger than anybody. Cody Rhodes outsold everybody. Like, so he's their number one baby face. Like, it's just a different way because people pop and then they hold their phone up. So it's not as loud and sustained as old pops used to be. So, I mean, like, it's just different. But I remember, like, when they stopped Shinsuke's music or whatever, I mean, my kids were excited to see Cody. But I mean, like, I heard Cody, and then it was rumbling. Like, people were, like, rumbling. Like, and I was like, okay, like, this is cool. Like, this is a different feel. It's a different type of baby face, different type of over. So they notice that every night. Like, they noticed it. We only see certain things on Raw, but like when I saw that Raw house show, I was like, they see this every night. Like, so they know that Cody like is over as fuck. Like, and so I think that I don't know if they knew exactly what they were going to do to Craig's point, but at the same time, like I think they knew we can't damage him. We got to protect him.
Yeah, my point to Jess over text was, why would Rock sign on to something where, as the number one box office attraction in the world, he would sign on to get shit on like that? And it makes sense now, right? Like a week later.
Well, I defend.
No problem being.
I defend Rock, right? I think that he is passionate about pro wrestling, and I think it's showing.
Go ahead.
I don't think Rock would have damaged his image and turned heel. Like, he would have just paraded around as the babyface Rock, because he would get all the talk shows. It's The Rock, right? So, and then big deal, he gets booed like in the arena. He doesn't care. But then, like, because people were even saying that, The Rock doesn't give a fuck. Like that, I'm like, he does give a fuck. And he felt it. So now he's like, cool, I'm just going to turn heel then. It's fine. Like, I think The Rock knows. Like,
so
I think The Rock waited.
You're saying they did
I
pivot.
think The Rock was just like, how it, like, in other words, like, he loves wrestling. So it wasn't like, here's how I'm going to come in, Triple H. I'm the baby face, and you're just going to book everything around that, no matter what happens. People thought The Rock was going to do that. And then now, like, people are like, oh, fuck. Like, I saw the comments, right? All the comments before and anything I would look, it's like, fuck The Rock, you motherfucker. Like, the whole thing. When he started doing I'm the Cody fans, like, on the Pat McAfee show, all of the comments on the bottom were like, fuck yeah, Hollywood Rock is back. Fuck yes. And I was like, God, like, he just knew it. Like, that's how good he is. He knew it. Like, he had a plan B. In other words, Craig, like, if the babyface gimmick worked, maybe they would just do that. To your point.
Crybabies eating chicken McNuggets at the home.
That's where my mind is, like, because I'm basically like, either way, I'm amazed and my mind's kind of blown. Either we were manipulated into doing what we did to Cody, we want Cody to have it.
It was
happen,
a fast pivot, right? Because remember,
something that should be so much greater than
I was just going to say that it had to have been a fast pivot, right? Because they had those fucking signs printed the next day, and they were giving them out to people. # we want Cody. Like, if it was a pivot, it's a genius pivot. To your point, Craig. So if they didn't know, in 24 hours, they were like, we need to print flyers. We need to fucking shove this up everybody's ass. Like, we need to get Cody out there.
Yeah.
So The Rock.
My thinking is like the pivot was supposed to be a longer story, and they've had to go like, okay, let's fucking
before or the night that Cody gave called out The Rock on SmackDown. It was already being talked about that night that The Rock said he liked what they did with Daniel Bryan, but he felt like they could have done better, and that's what he wants to do with Cody.
Damn it, cuz. When did you hear this?
Friday or Saturday morning after the night after SmackDown. I believe it was that night after we got off the podcast. I think I saw it on either Meltzer or someone from PWI had said that's what The Rock said, that he loved what they did, but he felt like they didn't do as good of a job as they could have, or something like that.
Because they did it by
Vince was always hesitant. And I'm not saying Vince wanted ill will on anybody, but when, 2 months later, when he couldn't wrestle anymore and he had to vacate the title, Vince is like, cool. Like, I think that's the way he felt with Danny Bryan. Cool.
It's just probably like lit a joint right after. Oh, God.
I don't
it's
like
just
the little
perfect
guys,
to shoes off and
I
shit
don't
on
like
somebody.
the little guys. That's why I didn't like Punk either. I don't like the little guys. The only thing I think a little bit just about your whole statement that I disagree with just slightly is, like, I know you hear the chants, but I think they had a little bit of concern about Cody trailing off somewhere, because the Daniel Bryan, we call it the Daniel Bryan pivot. I mean, it's the best way to describe it. they did that purposely for Cody, so he would gain even more fire right into Mania and maybe beyond to SummerSlam, depending on if he loses again. So I think that pivot had been deliberate the whole time in hindsight, because they like us said, they wanted to do the Daniel Bryan move. They just wanted to do it better. So I think they had some concern that Cody was going to trail off. It's hard to carry that kind of fandom for 2 years. And like I said, I know you were just at a house show and he was getting screamed, getting just chants all day, which is awesome. But there was some concern, or they just wanted to make sure. They wanted to make sure that Cody was going to be.
By the way, like
hot.
He's not even fucking. I love the way he looked almost afraid when he was standing up to The Rock. Like he wasn't like in The Rock's face or whatever.
Yeah.
He looked like I looked up to you, because he's always said in past interviews like Hogan and The Rock is my favorite WrestleMania match. He's like, yeah.
He did the same with Lester
Yeah.
too. Like
Rock on McAfee said
he
we
grew
used
up
to
with
hang out
them.
at
This is like a
house
legend to him. So like when The Rock got in his face before The Rock's like, we have a problem before he slapped him. Like Cody knew I have to stand my ground, but his face was perfect because he was like, "This is The Rock. I'm standing," and the Roman's right behind him. Roman's right behind him, so he kept looking over at Roman and The Rock, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like I thought that was perfect because you have sympathy for Cody.
Yes,
everything was perfectly done. Like all of it was just genius. And Cody held his own. He was strong, and everything. And so when he finally, because Punk's yelling, he's like, he should have hit him in the face. I'm like, he will. And when it does, it's going to blow the roof off the place. When Cody finally slaps The Rock, the place is going to go crazy.
That's just CM Punk. That's just.
It was a pretty weak slap, though.
It was.
He's nice
about it. That's what I said.
Underwhelming.
And that
but that's okay.
Slap was
it did its job.
Actually, I liked everything. All the small details, because you got to remember too. Even Cody said on was it Raw or whatever last week when he said, Roman, it's just not going to happen at Mania right now. So he left that door open too, where he said it's going to be later. So I could still see them kind of going down the road. Like they have to do something really good to keep Cody's face, keep him.
But that's
really
what's weird. He said not at Mania, but then he picked him for Mania, and that's what's freaking everybody out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking he's gonna have a promo afterwards going like, so. Even when I did that, The Rock was acting funny, and then I realized that he was actually having meetings with Roman, and that was a big plan. They were gonna hog the main event of WrestleMania to get their family line over, like the bloodline, to further dominate. And I couldn't stand by and let that happen because it's about my story and it's about my dad and it's about me and
Well. We'll probably hear it on SmackDown. I mean, it's airing as we do this, right? I mean, unless you're in another time zone, because
imagine they do all that stuff. What if that was the whole plan? Like Cody reveals that, or they have footage or whatever of it, where The Rock's like,
right,
me and you are gonna make money, cousin, blah blah blah, and then you're gonna be the high chief. He's like, I'm gonna take a dive for you. What if they just do all it's all corrupt and shit? It's like that would be actually pretty fucking.
How will we feel if it actually ends up being Rock and Roman anyway, because they have the tag match Elimination Chamber before Mania, Seth turns on Cody as a tag partner, and then we get heat of Cody fighting Seth, and then Rock will actually fight Roman anyway? Or how pissed are we going to be okay with that? Or are we still going to be pissed?
I would be okay with it because
quintuple turn,
how good it is already, and that means that they're going to have long-term storytelling with this. If it goes that actually probably would be the perfect way if you do want to take Cody back out of it,
to keep Roman and Rock and Seth,
and then it's going to be a triple threat match. It's going to be Cody versus Seth versus whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, which that was already.
Can Cody take it back again?
Predictable WrestleMania.
And if Seth turns on him, can he? Okay, I don't want to chase Rock anymore. I want you. You can't. Yeah. You can't
And don't.
If they're gonna do it, Rock's gonna.
Don't forget
he just enters the Elimination Chamber and wins a fucking Elimination Chamber. He's like, I'm fucking all of you. I bought all of you.
So now, do I prove it now?
Yeah. He's like, actually, I don't want to fight
Cody wins all titles, and then Damian Priest comes in at the WrestleMania and takes the titles away.
Yeah, someone said that. Is that actually the thing? Is elimination
for Seth's title? Yeah,
title
for Seth's belt.
They haven't
for
said,
Seth Rollins.
That's what it used to be.
They've already announced
the
6 matches. Yeah, they've already announced the 6 matches. Same for the women.
I have read some things, and I don't know what's going to be, but I think it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Lynch passing the torch to Rhea at Mania. That's what they're going for. So I think Becky's going to win, and then she's going to cry. She's going to seizure like she always does, like when she can't finish.
She's going to bow out. She has to know that it's over, though. She has to know that. I mean, it's just not the same.
Jesus Christ! I don't understand.
Whoa,
Oh, jeez.
whoa.
Talk about Becky Lynch.
Just because she changed her nutritional values, doesn't mean you have to call her that.
No, she looks better
Nutritional
now.
values.
But when she was overreacting with those faces, like after she came back the first time,
Yeah,
and she
doing
was
like
really
she was basically doing what
getting on
Seth's
Dino's-
doing.
I don't know.
They're
I
trying to
don't
wear
know.
out outlandish outfits and shit like that. Now outdo each other, and
Yeah,
now Seth
basically.
just keeps going. Yeah,
Yeah.
Outlandish fucking facial expressions.
I love it. Now she's so jealous. She's like, I'm so jealous of what you're wearing. He's like,
it
I
really
know.
sucks though for
know.
Seth. It
That
truly
stuff is
does.
better.
Like I'm sure if they do keep him separate, I hope it's him and Drew. I don't know. Like I think Drew's doing really well. It's just everyone's dwarfed now after this amazing storyline. But Drew's just
Oh, God, I
he's
love
getting
Drew.
funnier. Like he's
Drew's
getting the
doing
little gigs in
fantastic.
there. A T-shirt with him laughing at
he's had
CM
the
Punk's
biggest pivot
WrestleMania
since
opportunity.
the
It's on the
CM Punk
tombstone. He's
injury.
pointing and laughing. Like that's great. But the videos he
Yes.
did, like you
Yeah.
should always
And
work,
then he-
always
and then
fucking
he
tricep
online
day
and,
or whatever.
yeah,
He's
he's
the
been
best.
great.
Like
But don't
So
forget,
fucking
that's a
funny.
good one too.
told
Like
Seth,
he's
there's
he's
an extra
great,
small
and
for you in the
I'm
back.
really glad that they're
Oh,
giving
yeah.
him a
Jesus,
chance,
that's
like
fucking
to
lame.
be somebody.
So good.
Triple H. Triple H
Yeah.
once again. He's
It's
letting it
well
happen.
done.
It's actually been Drew. If Drew's been fucking running, rampant online, just talking shit, and so has have you guys been
Watched
watching
bits and
NXT
pieces
lately?
of it.
The last couple, like, did you watch the pay per view or anything?
No, sadly.
Dijak, he's fucking funny too online. Like
Oh, he did
he
beat
fought
him.
Joe Gacy and he beat him at the Vengeance Day, and then yeah, it was a fucking great match too. And Joe Gacy wrote something online. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I've been contemplating a lot of stuff lately. And Dijak's like, why don't you contemplate jumping off a bridge?
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
But then Joe Gacy came back. He's like, only if you're under it. Like, so they were talking shit.
No, Joe Gacy.
That sounds
You
like
can't top
sounds
that.
like the Kevin Owens joke where oh gosh. And our US champion says, you gotta get away from me. You smell really bad. It's like, yeah, I doused in Prime before I came out.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, even Logan Paul fucking laughed too. He kind of like laughed.
yeah, Luke Paul's like that was a good one. That's why you smell like Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Speaking
pivoting,
of Logan Paul and Rock,
Right.
Dave.
please. I thought you
Do it.
Oh yeah, about how The Rock
did
disappointed
you
him.
see what I shared on the thread
Yeah.
this week?
I did.
with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. And you want to talk about some fantasy booking that might come into SummerSlam or the end of the
Yep.
year, right? So just to kind of tell the audience the story, Logan Paul has now told this story at least twice that we know of, right? Craig, you and I kind of talked
He
about
did on this
earlier.
podcast with Cena on that Implausible or whatever it's called.
Right. So apparently, Logan Paul has had The Rock on his YouTube channel. Some said like 3 or more times, and the entire time, and this was years ago. This is like in the early 2010 phase, and
Yeah.
On the come up,
yeah,
as
'cause he
they
was
say.
really,
on the
young
come
looking.
up. On the come up. He's doing really well. And The Rock's on his show. That's going to get you millions of views. Where Logan already had millions of views. But anyway, he always said The Rock was very cordial to him. Was very much like an acquaintance. We're not best friends. We didn't talk on the phone every week. But just a good guy. Always very supportive. We had long conversations. He was a nice guy. Then he went to China. We all know about what happened in China with
Japan.
the Suicide Force.
Japan.
I'm sorry, was it
The
Japan? I'm
Suicide
sorry.
It was the Japanese Suicide Force.
Japanese Suicide Force. Excuse me.
Racist.
And
David.
terrible. Terrible. Get it right. And
That was a great movie too.
that's terrible.
No, not
So
that.
when that happened, Logan Paul was on the lowest of lows, having to do some repair work. Definitely, it's one of the reasons why I have never liked Logan Paul personally. I didn't know that Logan Paul, according to himself, did a lot to try to repair his relationships with others and his social media presence, and kind of came back and had the boxing and got successful again. But when he was at his lowest of lows, The Rock's publicist called Logan Paul's publicist and said, we would like you to remove everything on your channels that has to do with The Rock. He's not a fan anymore. And Logan Paul's like, he didn't even call me. He
Yeah.
didn't even nothing. And one, I'll defend it first. I'll say there's a good chance The Rock didn't even know that happened. Okay?
Right.
The publicist might have
PR
just done
people
it.
are the worst people on the planet.
They just
Continue.
do it to do it. They're trying to protect the image, whatever. So as that happens, so he pulls him down, but he's disappointed. He's like, I thought I knew the guy a little more than that, where he would call me not his publicist. But anyway, when Logan's on his way back up with the boxing and then getting back into wrestling, he's back on top again. He's doing really better than he's ever done, even with the YouTube sensation that he's done, say 10 years before. The Rock reaches out again, and Logan Paul's like, I'm not.
Yeah, he didn't
I'm not-
answer.
No, I'm not. He's like, did you answer? He's like, no. And the podcast host put it best. Like, yeah, why would you want someone who doesn't want you at your lowest of lows to support you, only wants you at your highest?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, exactly. So I'm not reaching out. I'm like, I'm like, what a telling story. It was shocking to me. I was captivated the whole way.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like Logan Paul a little bit now, which really kind of makes me mad. That's not supposed to happen.
Oh, redemption.
And at the same time, talk about something for SummerSlam maybe. I mean, I'm fantasy booking, but
No,
what if
they might.
what if Logan and Rock don't have titles at that point, and it's just a grudge match because you basically treated me like shit when I was at my lowest, and now I'm going to come for you. And talk about a match. I mean, that could be staged and scripted in a way where Rock is totally protected because Logan's matches at the moment are still incredibly staged move by move.
Rock's on the board. Rock probably sees the money already, you know?
Yeah, he had to
That's
have permission
big
to
money.
say it. He's
Even
done it
without that
twice.
story,
Yeah.
That's big money already. Logan Paul versus Rock. Without even that
it
whole
could be
backstory.
nothing, but the story in itself it didn't put the Rock in a good shade at all. It kind of plays into the
He's
heel
heel
moment now. Maybe
Yeah,
that's all
exactly.
expected. But I was flabbergasted by the story. Incredible storytelling by Logan Paul, and I had to get that out there. I think that's something that we could definitely sink our teeth into with fantasy booking.
Well, and
so fun.
They showed him watching Cody they showed him watching the press conference. He did a video watching the press
'cause
conference and
he's
reacting.
supporting
really?
Cody.
He's
and he
supporting
explained-
Cody. Yeah, he's supporting
He
Cody.
was explaining why he supported Cody. That's where the story came up.
Yeah.
I know.
It could
You know,
play into the
Dave
entire
has taken a
storyline,
hard
too.
stance on him.
I
and
really
I
hate
appreciate
that
that
we're-
because Dave
we're
could
all
have easily
getting
waned,
worked.
but Dave's been like, nope, I don't like what he did and whatever. But I kind of always have sort of liked him because like I have a kinship for some celebrities
Right.
when they get pro wrestling like Bad Bunny and
I
all that
get
stuff.
it.
I like them
He's
because I'm like they
appealing.
get it. Like they're not trying to use it and
Yeah.
being
Mhm.
snarky and not selling and just being silly. Like but they like it. Like you could tell they like pro wrestling, and so I think I liked him. So I kind of let him in a little bit into my fandom, and I was like, that's okay. But then.
Yeah.
But it
And he's
he was
so
funny at
damn
WrestleMania when he
talented,
fought
too, Jess.
Seth
Oh
and
my
the
gosh.
fucking his guy on the
Amazing.
podcast that dressed in the stupid Prime costume was on the stretcher being wheeled out. That was fucking
man.
hilarious. Like
Yes.
it's so genius.
So
like
good.
it's all of it's so genius.
Yeah.
Like so
The whole time.
I've always kind of liked Logan Paul, but not his
Mhm.
boxing. Yeah.
Everything he's done,
I can
he's
see
worked
the
hard,
appeal.
and allowing himself to be absolutely destroyed by Owens.
Oh my God.
was amazing.
yeah.
Beat the shit out of him.
At Rumble.
Yeah, that shit was
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
It's
When I
he's
see
got
a celebrity
respect
do
for
that or
the
whatever,
business,
I'm like, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
really
and he's always been a
respect that.
fan.
Like,
I mean, it is easier now because everyone can get a ring. So McAfee said he had a ring. Rock says he has 2 rings that he's training in, one in Hawaii and one when he's in LA or whatever. So wherever he is, he's in training camp, and everyone, and Logan Paul probably has a ring too. Like they just have these opportunities to just train
Rock needs to get-
24/7.
he needs to get
and
the
just
rest
rope
of
fight.
it.
work all
Rock's
day
gonna
long.
wrestle
He's a-
regardless, so we know that.
big motherfucker.
Yes,
Rock's gonna wrestle.
that's a very good point. Cause, but who?
But
Like, yeah,
But
we're totally
I-
not
From
expecting
the
it.
Vikings or something.
Opening contest of
Rock
night
from the
one.
Rock
Good
and
grief.
Eyeball.
The
Up
opening
next.
contest
So can we
of
bring the
night
Wyatt
number
family back
one.
out?
If you smell, and he comes out and he beats Austin Theory.
I'm
yeah,
already
said
in the
no,
ring.
but Ibar is part of the bloodline.
Yeah.
He was on the tree.
That would be funny.
He's at the bottom of the tree.
Probably gonna be Booker T.
Fertilizer for the tree. Sorry.
And then
That's
so
fine.
I didn't see Dynamite, but I kept seeing clips of Hangman.
They went to a
and I
draw.
don't
It's going to
know
be a
who won
triple
that
threat
match.
now. It's going to be
Who's gonna
those
fight,
two and
the
Samoa
champ.
Joe. Yeah,
Triple threat match.
Shut
Gonna
up.
be triple threat.
Really?
Yeah, for the title because they went to a draw.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Did you guys also read speaking of Swerve that
Well, they fired
he
him, right,
actually got
cuz,
a
or
call
something?
back
Didn't they
from
let him
WWE?
go?
He's like, nah, I don't need to be there right now.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, they got
They let him
Hey,
go.
man.
Yeah, they let him.
You know,
they let all of
is-
Hit Row go, and then they brought them back, and he had already signed with.
Oh,
AEW.
Swerve was in Hero.
Swerve's great, man. I love
Swerve
him,
was in
and
Hit Row. He
Yeah.
was the main
Yeah.
I hope he wins the title. I
Yeah,
hope he
so
wins the fucking title.
yeah,
I
he-
love Samoa
he is.
Joe, but like
He
I think
talked about it
Samoa
on
was just a
Twitter. He's
placeholder
like, I'm
for
not coming
MJF to
back.
leave. I want Swerve because I think Swerve is, yeah, dude, Swerve's
Yeah,
awesome, man. I
It's
would love for
Swerve's-
him to win the
It's
title.
Swerve's house.
He's great.
So then it almost seems like
Yeah.
they're trying to paint the picture that they're probably.
Well, I know he's healing.
tonight.
I don't think so because he
Guessing maybe?
he did a promo against
Yeah.
Swerve.
No,
Did
yeah.
you see that? Like before, I think the
Yeah.
week before the pay per view against Samoa Joe. He walked out. He's all, "Hey, what's up? Wiggity wiggity whack. What's
shoot.
up, man?" Like that. And then Swerve
Oh.
was all pissed off, and you could just tell. And they have history, I think, or
Oh,
something
no,
they were
he didn't
alluding
do
to.
that.
And then he was like, "Hey, man." He's all, "That's cool. Why don't you calm down? You do your little thing with Heyman, and you'll see me. You'll see me." So they left it like that. So I think they're gonna loop back when MJF comes back. So I'd love for Swerve to be champion, like when that happens. And then Sting and Darby won the tag titles, which I figured was gonna happen, and I figured that's fine. Everyone's like, "Oh man, I
Yeah.
want him to win," and
Yeah,
they'll they'll do a tag tournament. I was like, you think Sting is not going to look at the lights? He's a fucking legend. Like Sting's going to be like, no, I'm losing, and I'm going to take the
He's
pinfall.
a professional.
I know
He's
Sting will
gonna
take
lose
the
him.
pinfall. And the Young Bucks, by the way, tag titles are lost.
Yeah, he won't let
Fuck on
Darby
the
take
fucking
it.
Young
That's
Bucks. At least
100%.
they'll have some kind of stability.
Yeah, you might
dude,
as well.
Darby was bleeding and like
destroyed
they
Young
were wearing
Bucks,
white
destroyed them at
suits,
the end
and
of it, right?
one of the fucking Young Bucks had blood all over the front of his suit. And they
Yeah.
just beat the shit out
They
of Darby.
perfect.
Yeah, they beat up
I saw
Sting's.
that.
Sting's sons
They
are
both
fucking
did.
huge, by the
They
way.
did a
Blade
photo
Runners
shoot after it
2.0.
went
Like those, his Sting's sons are fucking huge. One of them was like tall, but the other
Yeah.
one was
Really?
fucking yoked, man. Like the guy was gigantic, and they beat the shit out of him. They beat him up with a pipe. They beat both
Really?
sons down with a
Tall one
pipe,
looks
and then they
just
beat
like
the shit out of
Sting.
Darby. Darby, like he's gonna shit me out of him, like throw him off a building. Fucking Darby.
God, I can't believe I miss Dynamite.
I
Love
mean,
it.
well, I
missing
don't
out
know how anybody
NXT,
likes
buddy.
them. Like the Young Bucks are.
That's
I
why
mean,
they're
are they
they
liked
and
at
they have
this
that.
point? I mean,
Well, no,
you
they've
see that
completely
Vince's
turned heels.
mustache,
They're
yeah,
in like
the
corporate
same
suits now.
mustaches they have is
Yeah,
for
they're total
Vince.
heels.
Yeah.
I
And they're called the. I
Oh, they're
think what do
totally
they call
gonna take a shit
themselves
on
now?
them. Now they
The
want you to
announcers
hate
call them
them.
Young Bucks,
But,
but they're like
want
we're
me
the
to, so-
Jackson brothers because their last name is Jackson. So like we're the Jackson brothers. Thank you. So funny.
Yes.
Yeah, the Jackson
Nicholas
brothers.
and
Yep.
Matthew.
Yeah, Nicholas and Matthew, the
Nick-
Jackson brothers.
It's not Nick and Matt. It's
And they wear
Nicholas and
fucking
Matthew.
derby hats.
Nicholas and Matthew.
that's how you do it. Your name always gets longer.
The bigger
you're a
dick you
heel.
are.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think they're called
Yeah,
Fear in
I-
the Business, right? Or something like
I
that.
think
or
so.
that's
Yeah, they're a
Fear in
little
the
reality
Business, or
show.
It's a new show that they're gonna have.
Oh, because they
trademarked
let BT
Yeah.
being the
they let
elite
that
go. Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Speaking of reality shows, we got love shows on both shows, don't we? We got Bianca and then we've got.
I want to
got,
light
uh,
both shows on fire.
Well, Cuz just posted the other one from AEW.
It's a.
Oh, it's like a sitcom or
it's
whatever?
A comedy romance. It's not even a.
No, they are together.
It's not even a real.
Are they not even really together? Is that what you're telling me? Like,
No. They're gonna make it like a comedy romance movie.
Johnny Nitro and his
Who?
wife
It's not
a reality
Valkyrie.
show.
Valkyrie.
Oh, I
What?
thought it was
Okay,
a reality show.
Nope.
That's a movie.
It's gonna be a comedy romance movie on their YouTube channel.
What?
Yeah, but Bianca and her husband,
Oh, comedy robot.
because he is second fiddle to Bianca.
How did they do that before?
Is
Vince?
they're actually doing a reality show on Hulu.
Yeah. That's.
I'm kind of looking forward to watching that. I've seen some
that
clips;
would
they're
be
pretty
good.
funny. Have you seen the clip with him and Omos and watching Bianca lift, and they're like,
No.
"Damn!"
No.
And she's like, "You guys stop! You guys stop it!"
That'll definitely
And
make
he's
Montez
like-
more of a star too.
And well, Montez was talking about. He's like, every time I watch my wife do anything, like lift or whatever, I just get in the baby making department. I'm really looking forward to this appointment later. at The doctor, like, oh my god, and that's what they showed for the show. I'm like, that could be fun. It'd be fun to watch Montez be funny. So
It's
They
fun.
are
It'd be
if they
good.
are
Usually
doing
watch
that
it.
and they're trying
It's
like
mostly-
Like I said,
now
busy
because I
week.
think
It's a
she's
busy
been
week.
forward that she wants to have a baby. So it kind of
elevate.
seems that's why they phased her on the main event picture, and she'll probably put Jade over at WrestleMania, and then right around that time, it would surprise me if she says I'm pregnant, like after
Oh, yeah.
Mania, they'll actually do it, and then they film that for their show, and then the whole time she's out, they're
Yeah.
still doing her being pregnant, blah blah blah,
The show.
and then The Rock will turn heel, and The
All
Rock
the
will be the
stuff,
doctor.
All the
It's
reality.
gonna be a whole
stuff.
thing.
I'm telling you
It's
guys,
awesome. Yeah.
he's gonna beat up
I'll
Montez.
take it from here, nurse. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't help it.
I'll take it from here, nurse. Germana.
Bank.
I'm telling. I know. I
Think about
gotta
hitting your
go
head
back
with
to it
that bedpan.
because if you guys aren't watching it, you guys are missing out. Vengeance Day. That whole fucking pay per view, top to bottom, was so good.
It was good.
They've been
Like,
good
you
for
had,
a long
it
time.
Was hard
They're-
hitting. It was bloody. There was blood. Like throughout.
You did say there was a lot of
been, but
neck
man.
things, like they were trying to kill each other, right?
Yeah, Trick Williams and Dragunov. Oh my god, dude! That
Dragunov's move, the one
like,
when
to
he
see
just
Trick
fucking
in that
dives and
style of
forearms
match
him on
and
the
having that
floor
great
is like one
match
of
with
my
Dragunov,
favorite
it was-
fucking things. Like so cool.
yeah, the hammer bomb or the H bomb. Yeah,
Trick's awesome.
Trick got him with a good one too, but Trick lip was all bloody. Dragunov's nose was fucking bloody, and then the next night he came out because
That's
he told
right. I forgot
"Hey,
Carmelo
you
turned on
trained
him or
Trick."
whatever.
And Dijak comes out and it was
When
dude,
is-
it was so
when
good.
is
You
that-
could tell
When is that man coming up?
he's pretty much signed on SmackDown now. So, but him
I
and
mean,
Trick.
he's had matches, but he's not on there regularly.
Well, I
mean,
think him and
don't know.
Trick will have their match at Stand and
Like
Deliver.
Goodbye
and that'll
or
be
whatever.
Carmelo's sign off.
like Swan
and then-
Song. Yeah.
And then but man, and the next night on USA, fucking Dragunov comes out and he's like, Carmelo, come out, explain yourself, blah blah. Dijak comes out, they have a little fucking beef in the ring, and they totally planned it out because his nose was broken from the night before. Dijak fucking punched him right in the fucking nose. You could see it, like he hits him clear right in the nose, and boom, just fucking gushing blood again.
Fantastic.
Like and then the whole show, like God damn it, man, they've really changed it up.
That's how
on
you
NXT
start.
a
That's how you
lot.
start a show right there, man.
It's awesome, man. I'm telling you guys, you're missing out.
Can I ask you guys your opinion though? Are we going to
for NXT.
have the similar? Book it. Are we going to have similar issues with that we had, say, 5-6 years ago, with all the influx of NXT talent and not having enough room and having them get sent back down, like Corbin's down again, and I mean, it's still it's just like survival of the fittest, and if you can make it, you make it. If you can't, you can't. You're gone, or you go back down. And
well, from what they were
do you
talking about last year, they said they don't want it to be, even though it's kind. I mean, whatever you want to call it, developmental brand or not, they don't want it. Like they want it to be kind of almost on the level of Raw and SmackDown. So I think that's why they've kept a lot of like Braun Breaker, Carmelo, those guys. They've kept them for so long because now they want still established stars on NXT to carry the show. Their ratings went up too. Like it was up for like, what did they say, like 15% since last week or something like that. I forget.
wow.
But yeah.
Well,
like,
they
so
have to now.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
they
be
have
really
to
good, and
because
they're
it's got the
sustaining
CW
same
deal.
amount
So
of
what's
viewers.
So they
what's the
actually
incentive?
almost have to promote it as like a totally separate promotion, not a necessarily like.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother question. Just what's the incentive to go up? I mean, usually it's more money, but are they going to have to start paying these guys on legit? I mean, not to WWE standard.
Not necessarily.
Contracts.
I think that if you want, I think that if they want you to go to the main roster, they don't. They keep the pay scale the same, and then if you make it, you make it. If you stay here, hey man, you stay here, like kind of thing. And there'll be more releases with them at CW. There'll be more releases from NXT when they cut. Like so, I think it's just going to be more of a cutthroat on both sides of it. Like,
and to your point, that'll allow more talent to go TNA, AEW, and that kind of thing. Like Swerve.
yeah, they're
Swerve's
going
a
to
good
start cutting the
example
fat
of
pretty soon. They
making
have
it
to. It's
after
fine, which is totally fine
cut.
because like they
So
can,
it allows talent to other promotions. So I guess the question I was thinking was like if they're gonna require ratings on CW levels, you would think that someone could say, well, then pay us. But maybe some of those guys at the top do get paid differently. Maybe Braun Breaker does get paid differently. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. But back in the day, I think you're right though, Dave. Like they top out at $75K or something, which it seems like a lot. But if you're traveling and doing stuff,
yes
it's
and
not
no.
really
Like
a lot.
I don't think they
23.
want to travel more with NXT, and I think they're starting to do it like the Black and Gold used to. But I don't know if the Black and Gold did good-ish. I remember we went and saw the Black and Gold in San Diego, and it was an awful turnout. And then we went and saw them a couple months later in Riverside, and that was one of my favorite house shows. So like, it just depends on where they go, and I don't know. Yeah, it depends on their.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, San Diego was weird because the
venue, it was a good show.
The venue
for sure.
was tough, but the matches were good. I mean, it was just weird.
The TV deal has to they've got to be making more money because of the TV deal.
Yeah.
If you have a CW deal, it's got to be more than just developmental at that point.
Maybe there's
what you just said, Dave. Too, they're going to send more people from the main roster.
Yeah,
Otis will go back, or you know what I mean. Like they'll start sending some people that just to if they're stale on the main roster, they'll just rotate people out. Yeah.
To bring the, yeah, I can see that too. It's a crazy time in so many ways.
Well, then if you think about it too, the possible like whatever they're gonna continue doing with TNA, I guess we should bring that up. Scott D'Amore is no longer with TNA. They fired him. Apparently he tried to not that's not why right? That's not why, but yeah, he made an offer before. He already had a loan ready to go and everything, but they declined it, even though I guess it was.
No, he didn't get along with the top brass, I guess,
I
because he saw like what they were doing.
He did that, no?
But I guess because I was telling Cuz on the text, Conrad brought that up on one of his podcasts, and I guess he knows Scott D'Amore, and he was like, "Scott will be fine if anybody's worried. He's been independently wealthy for a long time, so he's
he doesn't
fine."
Have to work.
And so they're like, so he did TNA out of pure passion for the last decade. So like wherever he goes, it's because he wants to go there and he's passionate about the product.
Yeah,
but I mean, people might groan, but a lot of people were like, dude, if Tony Khan was fucking smart, he would hire him to run Ring of Honor and back away from Ring of Honor. Just let Scott run it, like, and give it and let Scott just start developing the talent and doing everything there.
Hey, but But don't forget that WWE's hiring.
But if
for
you're
producers
independently
and
wealthy,
writers.
do you want to go in that? I
And
would.
they
If
are
I
under
was independently
endeavor.
wealthy, I'd be like,
LinkedIn.
I'd rather go work for TNA or somebody else
That's true.
like
yeah.
than WWF.
Yeah.
To
That's
make
true.
something out of nothing, right? Yeah.
And sorry to
Not
sidetrack, but you just
Yeah.
Jess, you just said Conrad, and now I'm thinking I've just been worked.
What is right?
The We Want Cody movement, the biggest fucking voice that first night was Conrad fighting with everybody about Cody and the unfairness and
Bruce.
how he wasn't going to watch Mania and that kind of thing, and fighting with everybody.
Bruce, of course.
And
And Bruce hasn't been on the podcast.
God
I mean,
damn
he's
it.
been on the podcast for other reasons, but
Mhm.
of course. Yep.
Wow. But they chat. They chat for sure. Yeah.
You all right, Bruce?
I didn't know that,
I know.
Greg. That Conrad was the
No, it was.
biggest-
I've never seen Conrad get that much involved that night and so controversial with like the fans, but like he was like
where was
completely the night after SmackDown when Cody gave it to
Yeah.
Raw.
Was he on socials or was
It was
he on
socials,
Not
yeah.
for that.
Oh,
so
okay.
He
Okay.
was not too happy.
That's
I
fantastic.
love you
Well,
for that.
Conrad-
Piece of shit.
They,
And then, well, yeah. There's a lot of things. If they merge and or if they have a working relationship with TNA, they'll be playing places for other wrestlers to jump back and forth. And Triple H supposedly has been talking with Stardom and all them and trying to get a working relationship. And
Yeah,
supposedly that's
I
opening
don't-
doors to New Japan still. And
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know that Stardom boss being let go, what that means. I guess Osagwa or Rossi or whatever his name was, but Stardom looks like in a lot of trouble. And Julia's delaying her WWE debut to help this new promotion, so Stardom's kind of fucked up.
yeah, and so I guess what I was reading is the WWE thing had nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah.
I think they're still talking with them regardless of that, but I think they did have a good relationship with him, and that's why. And Carrie, everyone thought Carrie was, what did they say, Carrie or Julia? Maybe that Julia. That's why she left. No, because this was already like he just recently left. I forgot they were saying something about Carrie saying and him, but
Yes,
she-
no, I saw that too.
Yeah, I forgot what it was exactly about that. But I mean, I guess they're still trying to work out something. So, and he might start a promotion, I think is what they were saying. But they
Yes,
feel like he
they're
might
going to
not be
help
able
this
to.
new promotion, that guy. Yeah.
So, we'll see. It's
A lot of
it's an
stuff
awesome time.
going on, guys.
An awesome time.
We didn't even get to Bailey. I don't think you guys talked about.
No,
Bayley last
we
week either.
were talking about on the
Did you guys
text
talk about that?
about how
Who sent me?
how
Who
well
sent me
done
the
that
clip
was. Like that was awesome. Like the way they finally, it might be the first
Yeah.
time I've
Yeah,
ever
I'm
seen, and just
assuming that
because
the
Vince has
Bayley
been
was
over the
happening while
promotion the
you guys
entire
were on the
time.
pod last
But
week.
like it's the first baby face that I ever saw, like that got betrayed. That was smart about it. Like how many times has Sting like if Ric Flair, if you fuck,
Yeah.
you could be my partner. Let me talk to you for a minute. And he's like, what do you do? And he was like, don't you do it? He's
Yeah,
like,
I
would
trust you.
never.
I trust
Before
you.
yes, now no. And then the second they get out there, Flair fucking punches him. And then Sting's like,
So good.
God, you know, the baby faces are always booked to be the dumbest
Yeah.
fucking people on the planet, like as far as turns. But Bailey, not only like, I love the twist
she's
where
not
she started
dumb.
speaking Japanese and she's like, yeah, that's Japanese. I learned it because you guys were making fun of me the whole time
Yeah,
or whatever.
that
And
was
then
great.
she
I've
hit
heard
that
the whole
pipe in the
time.
corner, knowing that they were going to turn on her. I was like, dude, that it makes her look
Yeah,
smart
the
and
stairs.
strong, and I love it. So she's a strong baby face, like that.
And
Her
sexy.
Yeah.
facial expressions were great
Sexy.
too. How she looked all like sad and everything.
I'm just saying she
That
needs the
outfit
main
was
event.
really nice.
She needs the main event 9-1. Easy. Come on.
I spent the entire week talking about her underwear, and then Joe sent a
Oh.
clip of like
Yeah.
the first time she wore it when she didn't have underwear on.
She's
It
lovely.
was very funny.
She's lovely, and yeah, I just love that face turn because like that
She is.
further doesn't give people some confidence like in Triple H's booking ability and that he's not here to do the same bullshit. Like there's
Yeah.
always a template you follow for certain things, but he's
Long
more
term.
modern. He's trying to give us something different angles. He doesn't want to do big dumb baby faces fucking walking into, you know what I mean? Like Cody will end up being smart for this. Like we were talking earlier, like Cody's going to be like, I figured out that they were conspiring behind my back and like that they were just trying to push the bloodline agenda. Like he's going to be smarter when he
Yeah.
comes out in the long. Cody's got
It's probably. He probably gave the talk on right now on SmackDown while we were talking. Just honestly, because
I don't think he wasn't on SmackDown. Triple H was, but he wasn't. He'll be on Raw. Yeah.
Triple H was, but Cody wasn't.
Oh, I thought
watched-
he was out
I
there
watched
to
to the
confront
end.
again. I
It
thought
closed
that
out
was
with
the lineup.
It closed out with Randy and Sami Zayn.
So what did Tripp say?
You forget
Just like Jeff said, like you forget who's in charge around here. And
Oh, that was literally what he said?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm in charge?
it's like some
Oh,
people want to come out here and they forget who's in charge around here. I don't care how powerful you are. Like
Oh, so they're playing up the board Rock versus Triple H. So it's gonna be Triple H and Rock.
big comeback.
Cool.
They have a little too much authority.
I'm coming.
Triple
I'm gonna
H
do it.
can't do it, Craig. He might come out for a
He
schmoz, but he can't wrestle. He can't wrestle. He will die if he wrestles.
Watch me. You don't think I can?
Yeah.
He gets rock bottom like right away.
I can't, but I don't care. No,
He takes his shirt off and he just rock bottom.
I hate to say,
As he spit in the
Triple
water.
H, even
Like when R-Truth
H's
has the
suits
cash
don't
in
fit
it.
right, Craig. He's so skinny. He's like skinny,
God,
like
yeah.
almost like skinny but fat buff on top. His suits don't.
Too big.
Those are his original suits. They don't even fit right anymore.
It would take
He's got
half an hour for the
perfect legs, I
entrances and then
guarantee
just
you.
pin them
It's
right away.
Superman punch to the rock.
He can't.
What? Perfect.
Jesus.
All I got think of Booker T in the Royal Rumble last year. That's Triple H.
Yeah, basically. Yep.
Like he
And even
doesn't
Booker
have
still looks
any of
better.
that- He doesn't have any of that core or leg strength anymore. It's gone.
Whoa. Actually, his heart, right?
Yeah, it was-
probably a pacemaker in
it
it or something.
It destroyed everything. The only thing he has left is like the core.
Don't
That's
do
funny
steroids,
that-
kids. Don't do
It's like the
steroids.
Yeah, I
new
know, I was
RoboCop
saying,
where
'cause
like
he
it's
didn't
just
drink
the
or
head, the
didn't
stem,
do
and the
any of
lungs, and that's it.
Partying like they did.
They put like a robot body on him.
They made this to honor him.
Talk about RoboCop. I hope that John Cena Terminator is on point because I hope it's real. I hope it's real.
That would be
That
cool.
would be so
That
great.
would be
John
cool.
Cena Terminator.
Yep. John
Watch
Cena.
him do
Hey, you know what? I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna put him against The Rock, but I think he's still gonna work a couple.
He's
more.
on the poster. He replaced Brock on the poster, so I don't know.
For Mania? No. Okay.
Yeah,
What? He replaced.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that he was on the poster for Mania.
Oh, I should have sent it to you.
He's like,
Oh, I guess.
It's rock
Probably-
and
I
like
maybe
all
I
of them in the
did.
background. Cena's all
yeah.
like just. I get the way.
Cena.
Where he's got a
Yeah,
stupid
yeah.
towel that says "Never give up."
The
He's like,
WrestleMania poster.
Like, remember me?
You can.
Fuck you guys.
He's all, fuck you,
You can
bitch.
correct me. You can correct me if you want, but
See,
I
like.
saw.
God, there's
I
still
saw on
so much.
socials on a couple of different sites that
Gonna lose to Omos.
Brock's
There's-
face is replaced with Cena's for WrestleMania.
Please
There's
almost.
so much. There's still so much that we probably missed in that press conference. All the little things, like even like how they were focusing on The Rock when CM Punk was talking
Pinned
shit.
by
Like,
Trick
I
Fools.
wanna
Because like
see
we're
Cody
on the
punch The Rock
stage,
in the
Rock's like,
face.
"What the fuck are you saying over there?" Like,
I
what?
was hoping we
Staring
get
like.
Yeah,
I
with
was
the CM
hoping he
Punk.
would,
Jabroni
but
saying-
he pretended like he didn't hear it. I was hoping The Rock
It was
would
very
be
funny.
I was hoping The Rock would like confront Punk just for a face off and walk away. The crowd would have
So-
went nuts.
The camera did zoom in on him and
It
saw
is.
him.
He was kinda-
focusing on
yeah.
Punk. Like so that's later. That's
He
that's
must
what I'm
have
saying.
heard
Like
Wait, do okay.
Well,
Do
that's
just
do
like
CM
2
Punk.
years worth of
I'll
feuds
bet if
for
you The
a
Rock
while.
in the
When
background, someone be CM
when the
Punk.
tricep feels,
and you know, I just want to see Cody punch The Rock in the face. Doesn't everyone else want to see Cody punch Rock in the face?
Like, and then that was what he did, and I was like laughing because like you just see him in the background. Like, what the fuck are you doing over there? Like he's pointing the two. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
he knows he couldn't do anything.
Very funny. Like,
I
that's
only
a
have
long
one
way
arm,
to
but
go
I'd
if you
still
wanted
punch
to
him with the other
confirm.
one. Let's say something like that.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
if
he
I only
did.
have
He's
one
I only have
arm.
one arm, but I'll still punch him with one arm.
I think Jess said it best. Like
It was-
when
he
CM
did it
Punk
before.
finally
He
does
was
say that,
injured.
he'd
It
be
was
so
before
great
the
on
pipe
commentary.
bomb.
He did a
think it
fantastic
was-
job.
Right after the
funny.
Nexus thing, cuz I think it was right after the Nexus thing,
Yeah, you're right. It
and
was.
then
He's really good.
he hurt himself,
Yeah, it
but
was
he
after-
did commentary.
it was-
He
yeah,
was so
I
good.
think
That's why when he did the
It
pipe
was still
bomb,
part. I
like
think
he was
there
like,
one
"I'm the
time where he
best
did
in
that,
this
and
ring
Nexus-
on that mic, even on commentary," because he was like that for like 3 weeks. He did commentary, and he was perfect. Like he was
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah, you're
as a
right.
color commentary.
Yep.
He immediately finds the way to rub it the wrong way.
He'll be
as
like
a
Nigel is
commentator.
on
He's like, well, I
fucking
would've
Collision,
punched
who's
him in the
really
face.
fucking
Like,
funny, by the way. I know
damn it.
nobody talks about Kevin Kelly and Nigel being the commentators on Collision. Edge like told him to shut up. Like Adam Copeland goes out there,
Oh, yeah.
whatever, and then Nigel was talking shit the whole time. And Edge, I don't know who he was wrestling, but he was just throwing him in the guardrail. And then Nigel was talking shit, and then Edge looks at him. He's all, "Shut up, Nigel!" like that, and he goes like, "Okay, all right." Like, and Nigel just sat there for a minute, like while he walked away, and then he was like, "Exactly." Adam
All
walks
right.
away,
I
like,
love
and he's just
that.
perfect. Like, and I was like, "God damn it, I love you so much, Nigel."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
When you
Nigel's
come up,
great.
I shut
He's
up.
all
When you
right.
leave, I'll be talking again.
All right. Should we call it? That's an hour,
Yeah,
folks.
man.
That's an hour.
Good
Yeah.
That's good for me.
We had
It's been a long,
we had to have
busy
a big,
week in wrestling. See you at the matches.
big one. Yeah.
At the match.
See-
I love
see
it. Every
at
time
the
you say it, I
match.
love
Oh,
it.
for the
I
record
love
too,
it.
cuz
That's Craig's thing. He
I
said
would like for you
That's
to
the rap.
hold the mic every single
Book it.
week because it looks like you're interviewing all of us, and I like it. He just
He does.
Yeah.
It's professional, cuz.
Good stuff.
oh,
We gotta be
I got-
well,
hold the
I
mic.
guess we're doing this every week then. I guess this is
I'm
what we're
Dave
doing.
Seltzer. Dave Seltzer signing off.
Dave Seltzer.
Cuz Seltzer.
Oh, Seltzer.
Yep.
Cuz Seltzer. That's fucking
See you,
perfect.
I guess we're gonna see you at the matches. And I guess we're gonna stop. So I guess stop.